The haunting history of the CIA organization. Activities. The U.S. government's Central Intelligence Agency CIA is in charge of gathering and evaluating foreign intelligence data to support national security goals. The CIA has engaged in several contentious and occasionally covert actions since its foundation in 1947. The MK-Ultra program, which was in existence from the 1950s through the 1970s, was one of the CIA's most notorious programs. The development of mind control methods, including the use of hypnosis, narcotics, and sensory deprivation, was the goal of the top-secret MK-Ultra project. Once the program was discovered, congressional hearings were held, which showed the immoral and occasionally criminal nature of the experiments carried out. The CIA played a significant role in the Cold War as well, particularly in campaigns to oppose the Soviet Union and communist movements abroad. These comprised covert actions like the invasion of Cuba's Bay of Pigs and the toppling of the governments in Iran and Guatemala. In addition to these actions, the CIA has been charged with taking part in a variety of other contentious operations, such as the killing of foreign leaders and the warrantless surveillance of American citizens. Past incidents. The CIA has been involved in several contentious events. The most significant occurrences include invasion of the Bay of Pigs, 1961. The CIA, working for President John F. Kennedy, prepared a group of Cuban exiles to invade the island to topple Fidel Castro's communist regime. The invasion was a failure and caused the Kennedy administration much embarrassment. The Iran-Contra affair, the 1980s, involved the CIA and other U.S. government organizations secretly trading hostages for weapons with Iran, with the proceeds going to support Contra fighters in Nicaragua. Many high-ranking officials were indicted and found guilty of various crimes as a result of the scandal. MK-Ultra, the 1950s-1970s. To create mind control methods, the CIA carried out several tests on human volunteers, including giving them LSD and other mind-altering substances. Eventually, the program was discovered and ended. Several attempted killings of foreign leaders, including those of Fidel Castro and Patrice Lumumba of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, have been attributed to the CIA. U.S. citizen surveillance. The CIA has participated in domestic surveillance projects, such as the tracking of anti-war protesters during the Vietnam War and the surveillance of Muslim neighborhoods following the 9/11 attacks. Drone attacks. The CIA has carried out several drone attacks in nations like Pakistan and Yemen that have led to the deaths of civilians. These incidents have sparked a great deal of controversy and criticism of the CIA's activities. However, the agency also plays an important role in gathering and analyzing intelligence to help protect U.S. national security interests. Darkness. To gather and analyze foreign intelligence data, carry out clandestine activities, and offer guidance to the president and other decision-makers, the CIA was formally founded in 1947. The CIA has always worked in secrecy, and many of its operations have been kept under wraps for many years. The 1953 overthrow of Iranian Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh was one of the CIA's roles in one of the major early controversies surrounding the agency. To overthrow Mossadegh, who had nationalized Iran's oil industry, and establish a pro-Western administration, the CIA launched Operation Ajax. The operation was successful, but it has come under fire for creating a precedent for American meddling in other countries' governance. Widespread criticism was also leveled against the CIA's participation in the Vietnam War, particularly for its employment of clandestine operations and its participation in the Phoenix program, a counterinsurgency initiative that sought to locate and eliminate Viet Cong commanders. The program has been accused of violating human rights, notably through extrajudicial executions and torture. The CIA's involvement in the 1980s Iran-Contra crisis further damaged its standing. The controversy centered on the covert sale of weapons to Iran, which was at the time subject to an arms embargo, and the diversion of the proceeds to support the Contras, a group opposed to the Sandinista government in Nicaragua. The operation, which was carried out without Congress knowledge or consent, resulted in the conviction of several senior officials. More recently, the use of intensified interrogation methods by the CIA following the 9/11 attacks, particularly the use of waterboarding, has drawn heavy criticism for being torture and against international law. It is crucial to remember that the CIA has also contributed to several significant intellectual accomplishments, such as the detection of Soviet spies during the Cold War and the monitoring of terrorist threats in the post-9/11 era. The organization has also taken part in humanitarian initiatives, such as the airlifting of food and medical supplies to places devastated by conflict. The CIA's history is complicated overall and has seen both issues and accomplishments, despite criticism for some of its actions being unethical or unlawful. Specific methods of manipulation. Propaganda is one of the CIA's most well-known techniques for subversion. Propaganda has been utilized by the CIA to sway public opinion and build support for U.S. goals. This can be seen, for instance, in the CIA's role in the establishment of the United States Information Agency, USAID, which was in charge of disseminating pro-American propaganda globally. The CIA also employs covert action, which is conducting clandestine activities to accomplish specified goals. Assassinations and sponsorship of rebel groups are examples of covert actions. The CIA's role in the 1953 coup of Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh is one well-known illustration of this. The CIA has also engaged in psychological operations, PSYOPs, which involve the use of disinformation, trickery, and other strategies to sway target populations' attitudes and behavior. The CIA's involvement in the Vietnam War is one instance of this, as they employed PSYOPs to try to demoralize the opposition and earn the sympathy of the local populace. The CIA has been involved in the creation of mind control strategies in addition to this, such as the infamous MK-Ultra program. LSD and other drug trials were conducted as part of this program to create mind-controlling techniques. Overall, the CIA has used a variety of methods of manipulation throughout its history. While some of these methods have been controversial, the agency continues to play a significant role in U.S. foreign policy and national security. Recruitment. Soon after the CIA was established, recruitment started. The emphasis on hiring people with military or intelligence experience was first more prominent, but it soon changed to include civilians with a variety of talents and backgrounds. The CIA has always been extremely selective in its hiring practices, and prospective employees must pass stringent background checks and screenings before being considered for a position. In its early years, the CIA recruited mostly from elite intellectual institutions, like Ivy League universities. It was believed that those with outstanding academic records and intellectual prowess would make effective intelligence officers, and this was known as the Ivy League pipeline. Yet the CIA started to increase the diversity of its applicant pool in the 1960s and 1970s. The organization is looking for people with a variety of abilities, including language fluency, technological know-how, and cultural understanding. The CIA has a very competitive and selective hiring process. A thorough interviewing process, background checks, and psychological testing are all required of prospective applicants. Individuals who are chosen must then finish a rigorous training course before they can start working as intelligence officers. The CIA has stepped up its efforts in recent years to hire people with a variety of backgrounds and expertise. The organization is aware that a diverse workforce is crucial to achieving its aim of offering the best services. Allegations. The CIA has faced several accusations and scandals throughout its history. The following are a few of the most noteworthy allegations. Assassinations. The CIA has been implicated in several assassinations of foreign presidents, including that of Salvador Allende in Chile, Rafael Trujillo in the Dominican Republic, and Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. The CIA has additionally been charged with planning on several occasions to kill Fidel Castro, the leader of Cuba. Overthrowing foreign governments. In several nations, including Iran, Guatemala, Chile, and Nicaragua, the CIA has been charged with organizing coups and promoting regime change. Abuse of human rights. In several nations, including El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, paramilitary groups have allegedly been supported and trained by the CIA. Drug trafficking. During the Iran-Contra scandal in the 1980s, when the agency is said to have helped smuggle cocaine into the U.S. in exchange for selling Iran's arms, the CIA was accused of being involved in drug trafficking. Domestic surveillance. The CIA has come under fire for allegedly spying on American residents domestically, a practice that falls outside of its legal authority to carry out international intelligence activities. Several of these allegations have been refuted by the CIA, and some have even been the focus of congressional probes and other government inquiries. But the agency's secrecy and lack of transparency have made it difficult to adequately evaluate many of these charges. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.